Welcome or welcome back to the Lockwood Chronicles. My name is Larissa and today we are reading The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This book does deal with grief, and if you are triggered by the type of grief, I would look up some trigger warnings for this as well. I don't want to say in case there's like a spoiler if somebody thinks it's a spoiler. I don't think it is, but just in case. Not the dedication being for all the food lovers out there who burn popcorn in the microwave. We'd be too strong if we could cook too. The prologue is so beautifully written in the descriptions of this apartment. This writing is gorgeous. I could keep pretending I was fine because I was fine. I had to be. I didn't like people worrying about me when they had so many other things to worry about. That was my allure, right? That you didn't need to worry about Clementine West. She always figured it out. Her most recent relationship ends due to her being closed off and using work as a shield and not being vulnerable. No, I was gonna be called out like that. Oh, she just ran into the chef, I think. The chef that this book is gonna be about. She didn't even look at him. I loved how a book, a story, a set of words in a sentence organized in the exact right order made you miss places you've never visited and people you've never met. If anybody described me as an Excel spreadsheet, I would marry them. Miss Congeniality taught me to sing, and I was nothing if not a prepared, depressed millennial. Well, that was a fun little meet cute. Lots happening. Lots of commotion. I realized I never really said anything about this and what it's about. Little synopses, if you will. This is creepy with the lighting. Whatever. I'm currently on chapter 5. So what is happening? Our main character, Clementine, she has moved into her late aunt's apartment in New York City in the Upper East Side. So she officially owns this apartment. She inherited it. Her and her aunt were very close. Her aunt was just a very magical being in the sense of very eccentric and fun and one of her favorite people ever. Unfortunately, her aunt passed away. So Clementine has been not dealing with her grief, and she has moved into this apartment now. And her aunt always warned her that this apartment is magical. She has moved in, all of her aunt's stuff is out, and then one night she falls asleep on the couch and wakes up to this young man jostling her awake, being like, "Hey, your aunt let me stay in this apartment for the summer while she's gone." And Clementine's like, excuse me, is this a sick joke? And they had kind of a funny encounter, and I really liked that. She works in publishing, which I love, books about books. She's a workaholic. She uses work to stave off having any real emotional attachment to people. Is having some abandonment issues. There's that. And her aunt always took a trip every year. She isn't going on the trip this year. And she canceled her time off, and her boss was like, no, you work way too hard. You need the time off, which I really appreciate a boss doing that. If you're one of those people not using your PTO, use it. Even if you don't go anywhere. Take an extended weekend. You don't have to take a full week off. We work too hard to not enjoy the life that we are cultivating because we need to work. It's so weird. It's so weird that we are the only species on planet Earth that actually has to work to live comfortably, or to live, or work and pay for things, whereas I could be a giraffe in the safari and not have to. Ooh, I could be a little otter, just having the time of my life, flipping around. Wow. I'm enjoying the writing. The descriptions, just everything is so well worded and beautiful, and I love it. I'm probably just gonna read for a little bit more and head to bed. If there's anything of note, be updated. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Just finished eating dinner, but before I did, I wanted to show you the pumpkin bread I made in this this dark. But I made pumpkin bread because I just felt like it correlated well with this book. What day is it? Is it Tuesday? I keep thinking, I'm like a day ahead and I don't know why. But I made it Sunday night and I just felt like it was very fitting for the book, just like cozy pumpkin bread. And this is probably the best pumpkin bread I've made. I usually get my recipes off Organically Addison, so this one is no different. I just looked up pumpkin, gluten-free pumpkin, gluten-free pumpkin, the gluten-free pumpkin bread she has on there. And she had coconut sugar and coconut oil listed. I just used vegetable oil and brown sugar. This is probably the best pumpkin bread I ever made. I did not make it in a loaf pan this time. I just made it in an 8x8 and that seems to have worked better. The middle piece was still like, it sunk down, so it didn't, but everything else turned out perfectly. I just threw in maple syrup too, because I just like that little added taste. I'm really happy right now because I ordered something, realized I ordered the wrong thing, then proceeded to order the correct thing. When I went to cancel the wrong thing that I ordered, it wasn't letting me and I was getting really mad. I'm like, fine, I'll just, when it gets here, I'll just return it. Not a big deal. It was like 20 bucks. I just got an email that said, oh, so sorry. Turns out when you made this, it was actually out of stock. So you are being refunded the money. I'm like, thank goodness. I'm so happy. So it all worked out. Great news. So now I don't have to return anything. I do have volleyball. I have to leave like a half hour. So I'm just gonna read for a few minutes, eat my pumpkin bread. How sometimes time pinched in on itself. How sometimes it bled together like the watercolors I used to paint with. Just drink a chai. Pumpkin chai, obviously. Pumpkin vanilla chai, even more obvious. Just did my nails, I meal prepped, I worked out this morning. We get to just sit, it's 1:30. We just get to sit, we get to read. We're on chapter 11, which is on page 97. She's still stuck in 7 years past. A cute little night together. Nothing salacious happened. And she decided to do one of her old hobbies again, and I'm really happy about that for her. She used to do a lot of watercolor. If you've been around for a bit, that was one hobby I really, really wanted to get into and be good at. I'm not very good with paints. I'm not very good with drawing. I'm good with like knitting and like those cozy hobbies. She's talking about grief. It just hits a little bit. I'll kind of paraphrase what's going on. I still felt alone, but I didn't feel like I'd rattle apart. I didn't have anyone to rub my back and tell me that it was okay not to be okay. I did tell myself as I sat on my kitchen floor in the middle of the night and cried into my pillow so I wouldn't wake up my neighbors. Except I didn't need to be fixed. I didn't need to be fixed. I just needed to be reminded that I was human. Ma'am, I have a very serious question to ask you. Did you murder your husband? I'm sorry, officer. I can't recall how my husband died. It must have been the pool boy. I'll have to get a new one. 'Tis only a flesh wound. From Monty Python, in case you were curious. It's such a stupid movie, but it's amazing. You can just dance. You can take the lead. And you'll follow to the moon and back. I just melted. Oh, this whole scene, just melting. Elliot is very funny. Oh, did I ever say the guy's name? Ewan, the 7-year guy, the apartment guy. But this Elliot guy, he's really funny. I'd like to be friends with him. I was tired of this whole dance. It wasn't that I didn't want a partner. I did. Thinking about going through the world alone made my stomach drop into my toes, but I didn't really want to look right now. I didn't want to sit across from another decent man and not feel anything and plot how best to end the date so we never had to see each other again. Nailed it! I hadn't looked around me, hadn't been part of the world, part of anything really. I'd just gone through it, head down, heart shuddered like a traveler against a torrential rainstorm. Oh, I am here for this. Would love to know the reason behind the name. It's good to see you. That's a significant typo. That they're talking about. That is so funny. Also love an IBS representation. I love that she adds little nuggets, just little tiny nuggets of her previous books. And it makes me so happy. So yeah, Dead Romantics is mentioned somewhat. It's so subtle that you wouldn't know it if you haven't read her other books. And I love that she does that. I love when writers do that. Emily Henry does that, Abby Jimenez, they all do it. And I absolutely love that they're in the same universe. It makes me so happy. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Oh no, but oh. How is this gonna play out? I guess we'll find out as we continue reading. Oh no. I don't like it when we fight Lemon. I love his little nickname for her. It's so cute. Do they have insider knowledge? That was what scared me the most. That the thing that I had been working towards so harshly was something that in a split second I didn't even care about. We have 98 pages left. Oh, this is so good. Of course he was a Scorpio. Okay. That is so devastating to find out that way, but also easier to understand. The intensity right now is off the charts. The timelines. Oh. There was an itch under my skin that was growing by the day, a feeling that I was in a box too small and a collar too tight. I'm eating some pumpkin bread, but I have a prediction, and I think I'm gonna be right. There's no way I can't be right, right? I was in fact right. High five! This would just be so heartbreaking to go into, knowing what it could have been, what it was supposed to be. Oh, this speech is making me want to grab my passport and fly all around the world right now. No matter how much time you get, it will still never be enough. There's a longer passage, but I don't want to read all of it to you because you have to read this book, but I'll just read you a little sentence. Love was an invitation into the wild unknown, one step at a time together. Oh, this is so good. Oh no, I'm gonna cry. Oh. Oh, jeez. This man. That's so cute. Epilogue. It's epilogue time. Am I ready? Oh no, it's only a page. How did this happen? How am I almost done? I'm not ready, but I want to know. Okay, we have finished reading 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston, and oh my gosh, this was so freaking good. The writing was absolutely stunning. This is definitely her best written book. I love all of her books. I loved The Dead Romantics. I loved A Novel Love Story, but this was on a different level. It was so good. I was underlining a lot for this book. I loved the story. I loved how Clementine and Ewan came together. I loved their chemistry. I loved their friendship, and I loved both timelines. I was very engaged in both, rooting for them. It was so good. I just loved how everything came together, and obviously I started sobbing at that one part. It was very sad, but at the same time it was very relieving. I wish we would have gotten a little bit more with that. Ewan is just such a guy. What a guy he is. He is phenomenal. I loved Clementine's story arc in the sense of her in this really great position and loving her job, and yet when people are like, oh, I love my job, like, what do you love about it? She struggled to think of that, and I think that happens a lot in people's lives more than people realize. Like, we do have a tendency to become complacent in our lives, and as someone who has had many different career paths, taken a lot of different routes, it still holds true. Like, it's okay to not do the same thing from the beginning to the end of your work career. If you do, that's totally okay too. And if you need another outlet artistically or whatnot, have that creative outlet. Have something that is yours that you enjoy doing just for you. And I really appreciated the importance of Clementine using watercolor as just an escapism, like just for her, something that she's enjoyed. And even though she definitely could sell her art and has been told that she should sell it, she's just like, no, this is just for me. And that's also extremely important to have. I love that. And like for me, that's piano. Like I just play for myself. I have extreme stage fright, so the fact that I sometimes put clips of me practicing in here is a big thing for me. Just having something that is just for you, for no monetary gain, and just a regular good old hobby is very important to have and to keep close to you. And if you want to monetize it, go for it, but like make sure that it's something you're not going to burn out of, especially if it like blows up or something and you don't have time for anything else. Getting off track. I loved the invisible string that brought it all together. This was just a really beautiful book. It was a beautiful story, the relationships between everybody and also dealing with grief. I would highly recommend this. Again, be cautious if the type of grief that of a loss of a loved one, if it is a very triggering subject to you, feel free to look up the trigger warnings for that. It's never gonna be easier to read about or hear about it, but I thought this was very well done. Her books always pack an emotional punch too. There's so much more than just the romantic aspect to her books, but she has such a fun spin on things too, and I love the added bits of magical realism. If you want to stick around for more reading vlogs or other bookish content, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well as hit that like button. And with that being said, respect others, respect yourself, and do something amazing with your day. Thanks, bye!